Hey everyone, welcome back. Real quick before we jump in, I need your help with something. We're grinding to hit 1,000 subscribers, and every single one of you watching can make that happen faster. If you're getting value from this content, smash that subscribe button right now. Let's build this thing together. All right, let's get into this. You know what's wild about this whole situation? Shedeur Sanders just sat there in front of reporters and said something that should make every single person in the Browns organization uncomfortable. He said everybody's not in the right situation, everybody's not in the best situation, but there's no excuse. You got to go out there and perform. Like there's no choice, there's no question. Nobody cares. If this was 1 week of prep, who cares? And then he dropped the line that's been running through my head since I heard it. A lot of people wanted to see me fail, and that ain't going to happen. You know, it ain't going to happen. That's not typical rookie talk. That's not some media-trained response where he thanks God and his teammates and moves on. That's a young man who understands exactly what's been happening behind the scenes, and he's calling it out without actually calling it out. Think about what he's really saying there. He's acknowledging that his situation wasn't ideal, that he didn't get the preparation time he deserved, but he's refusing to make excuses about it. And when he says a lot of people wanted to see me fail, who do you think he's talking about? Because it's not just random fans on Twitter. There are people inside that building, people making decisions about his career who didn't believe in him from day one. And Shedeur knows it. He's felt it every single day for 6 months while he was running scout team and watching inferior quarterbacks get opportunities ahead of him. But instead of letting that break him or make him bitter, he used it as fuel. And now he's out here proving all those doubters wrong in real time. What really stands out when you watch Shedeur talk is how calm he stays. Different feeling, but I enjoy it, he said. As the game went on and I settled in, okay, I know what's going on. As long as I get comfortable, which I am, each and every day seeing the guys run the routes and being out there, he's processing everything that's happening to him with this mature perspective that you don't usually see from rookies. Most young quarterbacks in his position would be overwhelmed, stressed out, trying to prove something every single snap. But Shedeur is approaching it differently. He understands that comfort comes with repetition, that chemistry builds over time, and that he just needs to keep stacking good days on top of each other. That's veteran mentality in a rookie's body. And here's where things get absolutely insane. How is it that this man still can't get consistent reps with the first team when one of the league's sharpest evaluators is out here saying Dillon Gabriel isn't even an NFL quarterback? Zach Wilson flat out said Gabriel isn't built for this level. Let that sink in for a minute. A former first-round pick who's been in this league and seen what it takes to succeed is looking at Dillon Gabriel and saying that dude doesn't belong on an NFL field. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is sitting right there, showing elite accuracy in practice, making throws that have veteran reporters doing double takes, and he's still not getting the reps he deserves. The gap between how people are evaluating Gabriel versus how they're evaluating Shedeur has never been bigger or more obvious. And yet the coaching staff keeps making decisions like they can't see what everyone else is seeing. Right now, Shedeur Sanders looks like a quarterback who finally stepped into the version of himself people have been waiting to see. It's like he unlocked a whole new mode. Everything he does looks cleaner, quicker, and more dangerous than before. Every drop back looks intentional. Every release looks polished. And every quick read shows a calm awareness you only see in quarterbacks who understand exactly who they're about to become. You can feel that shift the moment he touches the ball because nothing he's doing right now looks like early career development. It looks like a player quietly gearing up to run an entire franchise. And people around the facility are starting to notice. Players are watching him differently. Coaches are giving him longer looks. Even the media coverage has shifted from skeptical to genuinely curious about what happens when he gets extended playing time. So how is it that this man can't get consistent reps with the ones but that non-NFL quarterback can? That's the question Cleveland fans have been screaming for months. And Shedeur addressed it in his own way when he talked about breaking that barrier coming off the sideline for so many weeks. He said, I don't think a lot of people understand the rush, the excitement that everybody going to be in a stadium lit, trying to understand how quickly it's going to take for us to have success. And I truly believe we can do it. That's the mindset right there. He's not worried about the past or dwelling on the time he lost. He's locked into the future and what this team can become with him leading the offense. That forward-thinking mentality is exactly what separates guys who make it from guys who don't. What jumps out the second he takes the field is his calm energy, a type of control that only shows up in players who truly understand their moment. Reporters crowding around, fans pressing against the fences, cameras everywhere, commentators trying to dissect every inch of his mechanics, and yet he steps out there like the noise isn't even real. He's clear-headed, sharp, and moving with a confidence that doesn't need to be loud to be felt. That presence is magnetic in a way that's hard to describe if you haven't seen it in person. But everyone who's been to Brown's practices lately can tell you when Shedeur's on the field, you can't look away. There's an energy shift that happens almost like the entire practice facility tilts toward whatever drill he's running. And then here come the throws. The absolute missiles he launched to Cedric Tillman and Jerry Jeudy were the type of passes that make coaches stop talking mid-sentence. These aren't basic rookie reps or safe, predictable checkdowns. These are precise pro-level throws slicing through tight windows with perfect timing, and the chemistry between him and the receivers is picking up fast. When the ball leaves Shedeur's hand, it travels like it's coming from a quarterback who knows he's not competing for reps, he's preparing for his moment. You can see it in how receivers react too. They're running their routes with more purpose, attacking leverage points harder because they trust that if they win their matchup, the ball's going to be there on time and in the right spot. After one of these sessions ended, Shedeur stepped up to the media with that same steady energy. Calm, focused, completely locked into the mission ahead. His words sounded humble, but his eyes told a whole different story when he said, "I'm feeling great to be part of this squad for the game." You could tell he already sees the bigger picture. He's not approaching this like a rookie trying to make it through the week. He's approaching it like a future starter getting ready to take control of the offense. He broke down the offense, the routes, the timing, the chemistry, and the reads in a way that sounded like a quarterback stepping into the deeper layers of the playbook. There was no panic, no confusion, just someone processing everything with maturity and clarity. He knows every rep matters, and he's treating each one like it's a tool he's going to use when the lights turn on for real. During that same practice, Kevin Stefanski and Alex Van Pelt built an entire session around one thing, Shedeur's deep ball, his biggest strength. They wanted to see how far he could stretch the field, how tight he could hit the sideline windows, and how consistently he could fire the ball across the field with confidence. And he delivered on every single throw, cross-field lasers, deep sideline touch passes, tight window shots. Every rep looked polished and under control. Even Stefanski told him to let it fly, and Shedeur didn't hesitate once. It became obvious this wasn't just a regular practice, it was a test, and Shedeur passed every part of it with the swagger of someone who knows a plan is forming behind the scenes, a plan that has him right at the center of it. And even though his first NFL appearance wasn't perfect, the flashes were too strong to ignore. Under pressure with defenders closing in from all angles, he still delivered precise passes downfield. His arm talent didn't shrink under the moment. It held steady when the pocket collapsed. Sure, he took 2 sacks and missed a couple throws under heat, but the long ball accuracy stayed clean, strong, and full of potential. You can see it happening, the early signs of a quarterback getting ready to leave a real mark on this franchise. One play that people still can't stop talking about is that unbelievable dime he dropped right into Elijah Moore's hands in the red zone. Perfect timing, perfect placement, a throw that could have flipped the entire game for Cleveland. When Moore fumbled it right after, you could feel the whole stadium sink for a second. That moment should have been Shedeur's headline, his breakout moment. But even that mistake couldn't erase how sharp he looked on every snap. And the person making sure the public knows the truth louder than anyone else is Mary Kay Cabot. She's been watching Shedeur at every practice, every drill, every rep, and she's saying it publicly. She sees the consistency, the maturity, and the command he's showing, and she's not hiding it at all. Now, the buzz around the facility is getting louder, and it's no longer just fans talking. It's coaches, scouts, and veterans. They're seeing something real in Shedeur, something that's hard to ignore. You can feel the shift in body language around him. Players leaning in when he talks, coaches giving longer looks at the tape, whispers about when he's truly going to get his shot with the ones. And the craziest part, this all feels like it's happening faster than anyone expected. One strong practice turned into two, then three. Then suddenly, the entire quarterback conversation in Cleveland flipped upside down. There's a real sense that something is brewing, something the team can't hold back for long because the talent is showing up every single day. This isn't hype, this is momentum. And nothing travels faster in the NFL than momentum tied to a promising young quarterback. Mary Kay Cabot made it clear his accuracy is off the charts, and she's convinced Shedeur Sanders is easily the most accurate quarterback on the entire Browns roster. She didn't sugarcoat a single thing, saying his ball placement has shocked veteran reporters who've watched every type of quarterback pass through Berea. Cabot pointed out how Shedeur keeps stacking precise throws day after day, putting the ball exactly where it needs to be with a level of control that commands respect from the entire coaching staff. He's not just a high-potential rookie. He's showing elite, undeniable skill, the type of accuracy that forces you to pay attention. It pushed the Browns to finally give him the opportunity he earned, even if it came way later than it should have. Cabot doubled down, breaking down the exact traits that make Shedeur the perfect fit for this team, traits Cleveland has been missing for years. She talked about his rare arm talent, the way he maintains total control, whether he's firing a laser or floating a perfectly placed touch pass just over a defender's reach. She explained how Shedeur switches speeds, angles, and trajectories without losing accuracy, a type of adaptability Cleveland has been begging for. And then came the real praise, his smooth sidearm deliveries, those quick angle throws he uses to cut the ball through traffic like he has a built-in GPS for passing lanes. Cabot described how easily he finds clean throwing windows, delivering the ball with the perfect blend of loft, touch, and timing every single time. These aren't rookie flashes. They are the habits of a quarterback who already plays like he's been in the league for years. And when the training clips leaked out, analysts couldn't believe what they were seeing. Some analysts are confused. Others are irritated, and many are downright calling out the coaching staff. They're openly asking why Kevin Stefanski didn't give Shedeur first-team reps earlier, especially when Dillon Gabriel doesn't resemble a first-team quarterback right now. It makes no sense that Shedeur's first real shot only came after Gabriel got hurt, considering his talent has been obvious since day one. Fans are questioning the delay. Reporters are calling it strange, and the pressure building on the Browns coaching staff gets heavier by the hour. But through all the chaos, Shedeur hasn't complained for a single second. Instead, he's embracing the moment like he's been waiting his entire life for this exact opportunity. Mary Kay Cabot was on record saying, "We are seeing some things in practice because I've seen them with my own two eyes." Shedeur Sanders, I've told you guys so many times, throws a beautiful ball. He is very, very accurate. He has elite accuracy. When a beat reporter who covers every single practice uses the phrase elite accuracy, that's not casual praise. That's someone putting their professional reputation on the line to tell you what they're witnessing is special. And Cabot has covered enough Browns quarterbacks over the years to know the difference between hype and legitimate franchise talent. Shedeur told his people to pull up, get loud, and ride with him, because what they've been waiting for is about to arrive fast. You can see it in his eyes. Steady fire, controlled intensity, full confidence. The way he walks, the way he throws, the way he handles pressure, nothing is shaking him at all. His training sessions show a quarterback who's locked in, focused, and determined to prove he belongs at the center of this franchise. Every rep feels like he's writing the opening chapter of something bigger than just a temporary opportunity. Shedeur Sanders is fully locked in, and you can feel it in everything he does. He's not just preparing to make an impact for himself. He's carrying the energy of every fan who's been waiting for the spark he brings. When he steps into this new role, it's obvious he's more than ready to show exactly what he can do. The doubts, the delays, the mixed opinions about his spot with the first team, none of it rattled him for even a moment. Through every practice, every pressure situation, every tough moment, his confidence has stayed rock solid. His training film tells the real story. Precision, footwork, deep ball timing, and genuine composure under fire. When he launches those flawless deep throws, it becomes obvious his talent isn't hype. It's real, rare, and built for Sundays. The Browns coaching staff has taken a lot of heat for holding him back, and honestly, now you see why. Shedeur looks ready right now, like right this second. He's stepping into the challenge with purpose, energy, and the full support of a fan base that's been craving a spark for years. Every accurate pass he throws in practice shows he has been preparing for this moment since day one. What really separates Shedeur is his mindset. No matter what he's faced, criticism, delays, pressure, he stays calm, collected, and steady like a veteran who's been through it all. His presence has started to shift the atmosphere around the entire team, and people inside the building can feel it every time he steps on the field. And here's where things get even more intense. The players around him are starting to play sharper when he's under center, receivers run routes cleaner, linemen hold blocks longer, and the whole offense moves with a different energy because they know the ball's coming in hot and on time. That kind of effect isn't normal for a rookie. It's the kind of presence that usually belongs to established franchise quarterbacks. Even defensive players have been caught glancing over at the offensive field during his reps because the buzz around his throws has grown too strong to ignore. When veterans on the other side of the ball start watching a rookie's practice snaps, that tells you something real is happening with this team. He understands that success isn't just raw talent. It's execution, discipline, consistency, and the drive to learn something new every single day. His journey hasn't been smooth, but he never sat around waiting for anyone to hand him anything. He's been grinding for this moment, chasing it, and building toward it piece by piece. That's why he was rated as one of the top prospects in the draft, and that's why people inside the building keep saying his ceiling hits different. With the Browns' future finally showing some light, all eyes are locked on Shedeur Sanders, and fans want to see him step in and take true control of this offense. Based on his practice film, he might be exactly what this team has been missing. The stage is set, the pressure is real, and Shedeur is stepping into the spotlight with full confidence. The wait is officially over. This is his moment, and he looks ready to stamp his name across the entire league. So now the big question shifts to you. Is Shedeur Sanders truly ready to take over as the Browns' starting quarterback and flip the entire direction of this franchise? After watching his accuracy, his calm under pressure, and the way he handles every rep like a veteran, is he the future of this team? Why did it take this long for him to finally get his opportunity, especially with Dillon Gabriel struggling the way he has? And do you believe Shedeur will bring the success Browns fans have been begging for, or are there still more challenges ahead? Everything that's been building, the rumors, the pressure, the whispers inside the locker room, all of it leads right here to this moment where Shedeur Sanders finally steps into the spotlight the entire city has been waiting for. He's been patient through all the chaos around the Browns, all the arguments about who should start, all the doubt thrown his way, and none of it shook him because the whole building can feel it now. The momentum has shifted, and Shedeur is walking into his role with a calm confidence that's not normal for someone just entering the league. You look at his body language, his command, the way he interacts with teammates, and it hits you instantly. This isn't just another rookie trying to survive. This is a quarterback who carries himself like he belongs. The energy around the team has changed too. Players are talking different. The fan base is watching different. And even analysts who once questioned him are circling back, asking how the Browns overlooked this spark for so long. It's almost like everyone suddenly woke up and realized the answer was sitting right in front of them the whole time. What makes this moment powerful is how Shedeur handles everything. Steady, sharp, locked in, no panic, no arrogance, no rushing. Just a player who understands exactly what's at stake and still looks ready to own the stage without blinking. That kind of composure is catching people off guard because it doesn't matter how loud the outside noise gets. Shedeur keeps showing the same drive, the same focus, the same hunger every single day. Now the pressure flips back onto the Browns. They finally open the door for him, and now everyone wants to see if they'll let him truly run with it or if they'll fall back into the same decisions that kept this offense stuck in neutral for so long. The spotlight is on the coaching staff just as much as it's on Shedeur, and the next few games could rewrite the entire direction of this franchise. And here's the part that makes things even more dramatic, that the team is responding to him in a way you can't fake. Veterans are talking to him like he's already the guy. Receivers are running sharper routes because they know the ball is coming with precision, and the entire offensive rhythm shifts the moment he steps into the huddle. That kind of presence doesn't happen by accident. It happens when players believe. Some people inside the building have even started calling this moment a reset because everything about the energy in Cleveland feels different with Shedeur leading the charge. There's a buzz around the practice facility, a real sense that something is finally turning, and players who normally keep quiet are starting to speak up about their confidence in him. That's how you know this is bigger than hype. It's momentum backed by real belief. The way Shedeur commands the huddle, the way he communicates at the line of scrimmage, the way he processes information post-snap, all of it screams preparation, meeting, opportunity. And what's crazy is he's doing all of this while still learning a complicated NFL offense that he didn't get proper time to absorb. Most rookies in his situation would be overwhelmed, making mental errors, struggling with the speed of the game. But Shedeur looks comfortable out there, like he's been running this system for years instead of weeks. The deep ball accuracy that Mary Kay Cabot keeps raving about isn't just about arm strength. It's about timing, anticipation, and understanding leverage. When Shedeur lets those deep shots fly, he's not just throwing it up and hoping his receiver makes a play. He's placing the ball exactly where it needs to be, hitting receivers in stride, giving them a chance to run after the catch. That's advanced quarterback play that takes most guys years to develop. The fact that Shedeur is already showing that level of sophistication in his decision-making is what has people inside the organization so excited about his potential. They're not just seeing a guy with physical tools. They're seeing a complete quarterback who processes the game at a high level. And let's talk about the mental side of things, because that's where Shedeur really separates himself. The way he responded to being buried on the depth chart, the way he handled 6 months of essentially being told he wasn't good enough. That shows character and mental toughness you can't coach. Lesser players would have sulked, would have let it affect their preparation, would have stopped competing. But Shedeur stayed ready. He kept working like he was the starter even when he was fourth on the depth chart. He studied film. He stayed in the playbook. He worked on his craft every single day like his opportunity was coming tomorrow. And when it finally did come, he was ready because he'd been preparing for that moment all along. That mentality is what separates franchise quarterbacks from career backups. The ability to stay mentally engaged and physically prepared even when circumstances aren't ideal. Shedeur proved he has that. He proved he can handle adversity without letting it break him. And now that he's getting his chance, he's proving he can handle success too. The spotlight doesn't make him shrink. The pressure doesn't make him tight. He thrives in these moments because he was built for them. The training he got from his father, playing at Jackson State and Colorado, dealing with constant media attention his entire life, all of that prepared him for exactly this situation. Cleveland fans are starting to believe again, and that's dangerous. Not dangerous for Shedeur, but dangerous for the organization if they mess this up. Because if the Browns somehow find a way to screw up this opportunity, if they go back to Dillon Gabriel or bring in another veteran or do anything other than ride with Shedeur for the rest of this season, the backlash is going to be unprecedented. Fans have seen what Gabriel looks like. They've seen what the offense looks like with uninspired quarterback play. And now they're seeing glimpses of what it could be with someone who has real arm talent, real command, real presence. You can't put that genie back in the bottle. You can't show people hope and then snatch it away without consequences. The next few weeks are going to define the Browns franchise for the next decade. If Shedeur goes out and performs at a high level, if he wins games, if he shows continued growth and development, then Cleveland has to commit to him as their franchise quarterback moving forward. There's no other rational decision at that point. But if they hesitate, if they second guess, if they let outside noise or internal politics cloud their judgment, they could miss out on their best quarterback prospect in years, and that would be organizational malpractice of the highest order. The talent is obvious. The mental makeup is obvious. The team's response to him is obvious. Everything is pointing in one direction, and that direction is Shedeur Sanders as Cleveland's quarterback of the future. What makes this situation even more compelling is the contrast with how other young quarterbacks around the league are being handled. You look at teams that drafted quarterbacks high, and they're giving those guys every possible advantage. First team reps from day one, offensive systems designed around their strengths, patience with mistakes, public support from coaching staffs. Meanwhile, Shedeur was treated like an afterthought for 6 months, despite showing all the tools you want in a franchise quarterback. That disconnect is what has analysts and fans so frustrated with Kevin Stefanski and the Browns coaching staff. Because if you're going to draft a quarterback, especially one with Shedeur's pedigree and talent, you should be developing him, not burying him. The fact that it took Dillon Gabriel getting hurt for Shedeur to even get a chance is absurd when you look back at it now. Gabriel was never the answer. Everyone with eyes could see that. He didn't have the arm talent. He didn't have the processing speed. He didn't have the IT factor that you need at quarterback in this league. But the Browns kept running him out there week after week while their offense sputtered and their season slipped away. That's not player development. That's organizational stubbornness. And it cost them games. It cost them momentum. And it almost cost them the chance to see what they really have in Shedeur Sanders. But now that Shedeur's getting his opportunity, the question becomes, how does he maximize it? He needs to keep doing what he's been doing, stay calm, stay focused, keep improving week to week. The throws are going to come. The wins are going to come. The recognition is going to come. He just has to stay the course and not try to do too much. Let the game come to him. Trust his preparation. Trust his teammates. Trust the process, because the talent is there. The work ethic is there. The mental makeup is there. Everything he needs to succeed at this level is already in place. Now it's just about going out and proving it consistently over multiple games. And here's what Browns fans need to understand. There are going to be bad games. There are going to be interceptions and mistakes and moments where Shedeur looks like a rookie. That's inevitable. The key is how he responds to those moments. Does he learn from them? Does he bounce back? Does he show the resilience and growth that separates good quarterbacks from great ones? Based on everything we've seen from Shedeur so far, there's every reason to believe he will. He's shown that mental toughness already by handling his situation with such maturity and grace. A bad game or two isn't going to break him. If anything, it'll probably make him better, because he'll study what went wrong and make sure it doesn't happen again. The Browns have a legitimate opportunity here to solidify their quarterback position for the next decade. Shedeur Sanders is showing all the signs of being a franchise quarterback. Elite accuracy, strong arm, good mobility, excellent processing, mental toughness, leadership qualities. All the boxes are checked. Now it's up to the organization to not screw this up. Give him the full support of the coaching staff. Design the offense around his strengths. Protect him up front. Surround him with weapons. Do all the things you're supposed to do when you have a young quarterback you believe in. Because if you do those things, there's no telling how high his ceiling could go. The football world is watching Cleveland right now. Analysts are watching. Scouts are watching. Other teams are watching. Everyone wants to see what Shedeur Sanders does with this opportunity. And based on everything he's shown so far, based on his preparation, his talent, his mindset, there's every reason to believe he's about to show the entire league that the Browns might have just found their franchise quarterback. The story is still being written. The ending hasn't been determined yet, but the early chapters are looking awfully promising for Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns. Now it's time to see how the rest of the book plays out. If you want to stay locked in on every development, every practice report, every game breakdown, make sure you're subscribed, because we're covering this entire journey. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. Is Shedeur the future in Cleveland? Are the Browns finally about to have consistent quarterback play? And what do you think happens if he keeps performing at this level? Let's talk about it. Hit that like button, share this out, and let's keep building this community together. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and every single one of you makes a difference. I'll catch you in the next one.